Acquire the boost. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. Boost about to activate.
I've sent a specialization spider your way.
Boost about to come online. Boost now active.
Welcome to the video, guys. Just before we get into the build breakdown of my Mortar build, you've seen the PvP and the PvE gameplay. So this build has been refined over the last several months and seasons since after Warlords of New York came out. I've used it in combinations with the Fire Mask, which was really good. I'm not gonna lie, but now it's mostly the final form of the build, unless future content we get expansion and a power level increase, then this build is obsolete. However, now let's jump into the breakdown and we'll take a look at it. Now, you do need the Grenadier specialization in order to use the Mortar turret. Now, this build synergizes around 3 pieces of gear, mainly my chest talent, my backpack talent, and the capacitor. So, as many of you will have had by now, you'll have earned the capacitor from playing Summit. So, for 6 skill tiers, I gain 7.5% per tier of skill damage, and it stacks up to 40%. That's a flat 45% skill damage increase when I get the stacks up, right? Now, this is what synergizes with my backpack talent. Now, looking at it, my secondary and my sidearm, they're irrelevant. I don't really need to use them, but they're there if I need them. So it's the Harmony with Perfectly in Sync and the card 45 with In Sync as well. The mask is a piece of Grupo Sombra. I have 2 pieces of Grupo on this build. That's not for the crit damage, that's for the explosive damage. Now, obviously, I get 15% explosive damage, I get 10% skill damage, 12% skill haste, and 11.8% skill haste as a mod. Now, the 12% skill haste, I would have preferred that to have been status effects, but it will do. My holster, again, has 10% status effects and 12% skill haste. I would have preferred that again to have had skill damage over skill haste. And then we go into my knee pads. Now, this is 1 pieces of China Light. Again, 15% explosive damage along with the specialization. That brings me up to the 40% cap. So 10% status effects and 10% skill damage. And then we have 2 pieces of Hana Yu on this build. Now, that gives me, from the brand set alone, 10% skill haste and 10% skill damage, along with my rolls being 10% status effects and 10% skill damage. The backpack talent we'll come to in just a second. Again, I've got more skill damage, status effects, and skill haste. The talent, perfect combined arms. I think a lot of people's skill builds sleep on this, depending on the type of skill build that you're running, right? Or skill damage build, sorry. Now, obviously, with the capacitor, I still have to put shots into a target, otherwise my stacks decrease. Therefore, I lose my 45% skill damage on that weapon, right? However, while I'm still popping shots in, this talent stays active all the time, right? As long as I'm putting shots into enemies, right? So I can fire a mortar at an enemy and still put shots into him, and this will still proc. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds, but it constantly keeps going. There's no cooldown on it. Alright? That's what synergizes so well. So that's like 30% plus 45%, and then the 15% from my talent, which is active on my chest, so which is Wyvern Wear. So I get 10% from Wyvern Wear skill damage. You know, my attributes are status effects and skill damage and skill haste. The values there, sorry, I didn't say them. However, I know what some of you would say is connect momentum. Why use it? Is that you know, why not use glass cannon? Again, for me, it's situational, right? Because glass cannon, yeah, don't get me wrong, it could make this build do a lot more damage, right? However, do I want to sacrifice survivability, the little of it that I do have, for more damage? Or do I make the trade-off of going, do you know what, I'll take 15% extra skill damage from my chest, right? And then have a few seconds worth of survivability to try and react and down an NPC or an enemy agent running at me with a sticky bomb or a mortar shot. If I get lucky and do it, then fair play, then I can pop another armor kit off, right? But again, that's down to your own personal playstyle, which talent you use. You know, I'm not going to say which ones you should use. It's, again, personal preference. For me, I much prefer Kinetic Momentum. This build has 79% skill haste as attributes, alright? My stats are sort of all over the place when it's trying to display it. But when I've done the math, it, you know, my skill haste is actually 79%, not 500%. So God knows what's going on there. But there's really not much to my you know, actual stats on this build. You've seen what it is. I do a combined, with everything procced, I do a combined skill damage of 160%. The testing range isn't the best place to showcase damage numbers with this build. I'm better off doing it in the open world. Now, when we look at my sticky bombs actual stats, you know, these are base damages, right? These are with nothing procced. So in PvE, it's like 5.6 mil. PvP, 1.2 mil, right? Which, yeah, is great. I mean, I could even use the fire sticky if I want to, but the PvP damage is a little bit weak. But, you know, you're burning armor, so... yeah, it's up to you which one you use. I prefer this. Now, when my talents do proc with a sticky bomb, I can reach damage numbers of 8 to 11 million. That's in PvE. Again, it depends on how weak NPCs are or how tanky they are. Getting everything procced, you know, you can reach upwards of between 11.5 million worth of damage. It is stupid in PvE. PvP, I've seen it reach around 1.4 mil. So, you know, that's still not that bad. My mortar turret, again, for PvE damage, base damage 3.6 mil, I can get that upwards to around 7 to 8.6 million, I believe it was. It's 8.6 or 8.7. I've got it up to around there with everything fully procced. PvP damage, the base damage being it's just under a mil, really. I mean, with everything procced in PvP, I mean, it'll probably go up another, I want to say 30-40k in base damage. It's hard to tell in PvP because the damage numbers, when you fire them more and then when you have to pop shots at the same time, it's a little bit harder to tell unless you're right on top of the enemy. But I'll tell you what, we'll oh, my wells are normal. We'll just quickly test some PV for you for damage numbers right now. So as you can see, the sticky bomb respectively can hit between, you know, fully procced 11 million to 12 million. And unfortunately, which is a bit of a letdown, my mortar turret max damage is actually now pumping up between like 7.1 million. I have got it to like 8+ million before, but I don't know, it's just not working for me. So yeah, this is the build. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and support the channel. And laters.